Hi, this is Miss Hancock. Today we're going to be talking about subtracting integers, and the standard that we're going to be working with is 7.NS.1c. So we're going to go ahead and get started with that. And what we're going to do first is we're going to just do a little review from our last lesson on 5 plus -3. I know that's addition, but we're just going to look at it and then we're going to compare it to some subtraction problems. So let's go ahead and look at this. So 5 plus 3, we know that we're going to start at 0. And we're going to move to the first term, which is +5. And then this says plus -3. Well, that negative tells me, let's remind you, the negative tells you to go left 3 times. So I'm going to pick up at 5 and I'm going to go left 3 times. And that's going to give me the solution of 2. So 5 plus -3 is 2. Now, I want you to think about this next problem. The next problem is 5 minus 3, and we can go back to first grade, and we know that 5 minus 3 is 2, but let's graph it on the number line and talk about it. So again, we're going to start with 0. We're going to go to our first term, which is 5, and it says -3. Well, the 3 is a +3, and this minus is basically telling me the opposite of 3, and the opposite of 3 is -3, so we're going to move to the left 3 times. So I'm going to start at 5, I'm going to go to the left 3 times, and that's going to put me right at 2. So 5 minus 3 equals to +2. So let's just talk about this for just a second. Look at the graphs, the number lines. Do you notice this number line right here is exactly the same as this number line right here? And also, when you look at the solutions, the solution here is 2. The solution here is also 2. So we're going to talk about that for just a moment. And let me pull up my next slide so we can discuss it. It says, how do we rewrite a subtraction problem as an addition problem? So what I want you to look at is, we had 5 minus 3 equals 2, and we had 5 plus -3 equals 2, and they were the same. They have the same values, the same solution, the same number line. So could I write it like this and it be exactly the same? 5 minus 3 equals 2, 5 plus -3. That's the same as. They have the same solution, so those expressions would be equal to each other. Well, let's compare them. The first integer is 5. Our operation is a minus. Our operation here is a plus. Here I have a +3, and here I have a -3. So how do we change that from 5 minus 3 to 5 plus -3? Well, there's a rule that we're going to go by, and it's called KCC, which is keep the first term, change the minus sign to a plus sign, and then change the last term to the opposite. So when we have 5 minus 3, we do keep it, change it from minus to plus, and the opposite, change it from +3 to -3, and make sure you put parentheses around it. So that's how we rewrite a subtraction problem to an addition problem, and we're going to work a few problems like that and get you a little bit more familiar with it. So on this problem right here, we're going to have 1 minus 5. And what we want to do is we want to rewrite that. And the rule was keep, change, change. So we're going to keep the first term. We're going to change this minus sign to a plus sign. And we're going to change this positive 5 to a negative 5. And put your parentheses around to separate the plus from the negative sign. And now we can graph it on a number line. So we're going to start with 0. And we're going to go to our first term, which is 1. And now we have plus negative 5. The negative again tells me to go left 5 times. So I'm going to pick up at 1 and I'm going to go left 5 times. And that's going to give me negative 4. So 1 plus negative 5 is negative 4. 1 minus 5 is negative 4. So that's one example. And now we're going to do one more example. So I'm going to clear this out. Okay. And we're going to have negative 7 minus 4. Well, the first thing I notice is that it's a subtraction problem, and I want to make it an addition problem. So I'm going to rewrite it using the rule KCC. So I'm going to keep the negative 7, keep the first term, change this from minus to plus, and change this from positive 4 to negative 4. And now I'm ready to work the problem. So I'm going to start at 0. My first term is negative 7, so I'm going to go to negative 7. My second term is plus negative 4. Negative again, remember it tells us to go to the left 4 times. So I'm going to pick up right at the 7, negative 7. I'm going to go to the left 4 times. 1, 2, 3. Short one, but that's okay. I can just put a negative 11 right there. And my negative 11. So negative 7 minus 4 is negative 11. Negative 7 plus negative 4 is negative 11. So remember that when you see a minus sign, you have to rewrite it to an addition problem. And what are we gonna, what rule are we gonna use? We're gonna use keep, change, change. I hope you have a great day. I hope you learned a little bit today, and we will see you at the next video.